Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. It's great to have you, and we're here to talk about how can improving workplace culture can make your life easier, make it much easier about recruitment, retention, and impact the bottom line of your business, as well as this will actually be make or break in the years to come. So my name is Leo, and I am co-founder at EasyClean. I personally myself, am working towards shaping the workplace of the future, one that is much better. My organization is actually doing this as well through the facilities maintenance and cleaning. So what's great, I'm in a position to be quite honest with you in the way that I can actually help you, because we gather a lot of data through the WPS, Workplace Promoter Score, which is a survey that we have in place at all of the sites that we service. We are collecting a lot of data, and what we're seeing is people's favorite thing about the workplace and least favorite thing about the workplace. Okay, so trust me, I got a few things to share with you. Now, let's go back to the situation we find ourselves in. We have all-time high job vacancies. There's never been this many jobs available out there. 3.9% unemployment, which is nearly a 50-year low. Expected to go down to 3.5% before it gets any better. So you can see it's very tight labor market conditions, right? So you want to hire people, you need to actually get them from other companies. And that's what's happening right now. Combine that with the fact that people are choosing really carefully where to work. Extremely carefully. There's not just pay is, yes, a big reason, but I'm going to talk to you about some other reasons that are increasing, and perhaps pay, from what we can see, is actually decreasing in the level of importance, okay? So bear with me. The solution for this is also coming up in this video, and man, the good thing is we can do something about it, for sure. And I am personally working with a few companies, and it's great to see the improvements and the experience people are having in these workplaces. There will be companies that probably get it a bit late, and I can see that myself as well. And I'm not going to give you names, but I'm going to share some scenarios or case studies that I've experienced myself in the last couple of weeks. So very fresh. Okay. So again, if you're struggling to find stuff now with a lot of demand, your company is facing a lot of demand, right? So you have money and you can offer jobs and whatnot. Think of like the possibility of having a recession next year, 2023, which is something that the government in a way needs to do, to have like the 2 negative growth quarters, which is technically a recession, to cool off inflation. So it's almost like the government has to do it, and that's gonna see demand drop. So what I'm getting at is, like, if you're struggling to find stuff with having a lot of demand for your product, what is it going to look like if you don't really have the capital to really open up new jobs? And it's just going to get a bit tougher. So let's fix it today, okay? With this, we're going to walk away from this webinar with some insights and some specific things you can actually implement into your workplace. Talking about like recent examples I have experienced myself, how would you feel if you walk into your lunchroom at your workplace and there was this written on the whiteboard? So glad it's Friday. I haven't felt this good since last Friday. How would you feel? What is that message? What's the message that your staff is getting? It's like, can't wait to get out of here. Yeah, can you believe that? It's something that as a business owner would break my heart to see, and we would never want to see. We actually want to we would like that to be the other way around. Yeah, it's Monday. Like, seriously. And you may go, like, how will people actually want to come to work? Well, that's what we need to achieve. We need to actually turn the workplaces into a place that people want to come to work, because they're going to walk out of there healthier, happier, motivated, inspired, and they basically can see that they are a part of a mission, there is a reason for them to exist. Okay, so that's what this is all getting at, and I'm going to give you some more specific ways to achieve that. So I have a quote here from Simon Sinek. If you don't know him, like I'm sure you probably do, the author of the book Start with Why, and many other. He's basically like a key person of influence when it comes to workplace culture. And here's what he says in a recent podcast. I'm going to share with you also where to find this. He said sometimes they need to come to the office. This is talking about like the hybrid situation between working from home and the office. Sometimes they need to come to the office because they need to connect and be part of the culture, making predictions on what it will look like, whether if it's mostly working from home or the office. It's a bit foolish at this time, but we know it will be more flexible. Remember that flexibility is going to be so key. And every office will be slightly different, and it will fit whatever the culture is. And I think the office environment will be one of those selling points. 100%, I agree on that. If someone really hates this office environment, they will find another company where they like that office environment. This is from the podcast called The Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett, episode 145. That is it. Like, seriously, people have the choice. Don't forget that people have the choice, not like back in the day where they would take any job. Okay? Go back to the statistics I provided you at the beginning. Okay, so one case study very quickly, a company that I recently went and, in trying to help them improve the workplace culture. Unfortunately, I see that there was no level of care for me to even be able to work with, help them. There was a ton of cockroaches in the middle of the office, believe it or not. They hadn't cleaned the office in over a month, and I just did not see something I could work with. That level of care was not there, and I actually refused to proceed with giving them a proposal. It does take a bit of a mindset shift. You need to completely realize that, like, hey, you actually cannot have your people working in such conditions. And so the good thing is I did actually that same week. I went to see someone else in another company, and it's actually a CFO, which surprised me because usually a CFO is the one that does not want to really like invest much, or like, I wouldn't say it like that, but spend much. But they actually could see the importance and the correlation with recruitment, retention, and talent building in having a workplace that's actually nice to be in. It's clean, it's presentable, it smells good, and so on. So that was great. To see a CFO happy to increase the investment for cleaning and facilities maintenance was great, because they can see the direct return on investment. So that's something that happened very recently, and I could see that the big difference you can see, like people who are not still catching up onto the importance of offering a workplace, a nice workplace. Then people are gonna look for a better workplace. I can guarantee you, sooner or later. So look, some of the things that we see through our surveys are actually very similar to what studies, we have studies here that show some of the things people don't want and do want from a workplace. And so, yeah, it's evident that like it is true. I see it through the survey, and I see it through research. So some of the things that making people look for other workplaces are uncaring leaders, no level of care, which is what I saw in that place, which I actually did. Look, even if I wanted the business, like, it was just not going to work. So I obviously saved myself some time there. Uncaring leaders, unsustainable work performance expectations, so to be unreasonable. Number 3 is lack of career development and advancement potential, so like opportunities. Lack of meaningful work. So key, meaningful work. Lack of support for employee health and well-being. It's similar to lack of care, I guess. Inadequate total compensation package. Still relevant, of course, pay. Like, we cannot say, like, oh, pay doesn't matter. No, it does matter, but like there's other things like brewing to become as important or more important very soon. Lack of workplace flexibility. I mentioned flexibility earlier. Unreliable and unsupportive people in the workplace. Unsafe workplace environment. Non-inclusive, unwelcoming, and disconnected community. Inadequate resource accessibility and lack of geographic ties and unreasonable travel demands. Like, you can see that, like, it's about not treating people as another resource for your company. That's what it's all about. You need to start looking at people in a different way. Look at people as, they're willing to give up their life to help you with your mission, how will you treat them? How would you like to be treated if you did that? Like if you gave up, it's not necessarily gave up, but like put it into this context for a second for me. You give up your life to help someone else with their mission. How would you like to be treated? You know, that's what's going on. Hopefully, it's actually their mission as well, and then you have like a win-win situation, right? Now, what do they want? We're here to talk about what they actually want. Yeah. So I have a study conducted by Mitch Coops, a director at Let's Assemble. He says the following. So he talks about the great rehire, which I love. He's actually flipping this and making it into a positive, right? So the great rehire will require recruiters and talent acquisition professionals to approach hiring differently than we did pre-pandemic. To build a robust talent pipeline, candidates in 2022 are seeking flexibility. 65% of candidates want remote work options after the pandemic, while 31% desire hybrid conditions. Transparency, career growth, diversity. It's like basically you flip the other, what I said, like that people don't want. They just want that like to actually be in a much, for actually to happen for things like opportunity, diversity, inclusion. Okay. He says the greatest challenge I've witnessed firsthand over the last 6 months is the continual shift of talent holding the hiring reins. They're the ones making those decisions, right? No longer, it's not you. Okay, wish list. Let's go over to the wish list. And we have, number one is remuneration and reward, still at the top, makes sense. But then secondly, we have well-being. Then we have experience. Number 4 is ways of working. Number 5 is career development. Number 6 is the brand. And number 7 is workspaces and places. So some of the other things like very related to this, and one that you find interesting is that, and we see this through the survey, is toilets. Believe it or not, the toilets are something that generally, not necessarily in every workplace, clean daily. And so that's where you can start seeing the comparisons. And let's be real, like you have probably experienced this yourself. You don't necessarily like to go to a toilet at work. For a good reason. You probably prefer to go to yours, right, at home. And it is like a very intimate thing, like for people to actually have to go do what they naturally do at the office. And so with this, you need to, as quickly as you can, increase the level of frequency that you clean the toilets. No, you don't have to get the cleaners to your cleaners. You can do this with your cleaning company, come every day to do everything, because that's not cost effective, but just the toilets. You need to find a way. Talk to them, see if they have a cost effective option for this. Happy to help you with some of our checklists on this. Another one is air quality, right? So what's the AQI score? So that stands for air quality index. So it's measured between 0 to 500, sorry. You want that to be below 66. And if it is, show it to them. So another one, believe it or not, is great coffee. Like you need to have like a good coffee machine. And these are obviously, you may think, oh, these are trivial things, but no, like you want them to have things that they don't have at home. Think of it like that. Another huge one I'm going to give you is to try and embody through your physical space. You need to embody your company's mission. Don't have it just written on the wall, because that's just not enough. You need to actually make people, like when they come to your workplace, is to live that mission and to be part of that mission that on like now, like it's live, it's happening. So you want to find ways to embody your company's mission. Okay, so look, there's some of the things, the key ones. You want them to have a very nice workstation. That's where I spend 80% of the time. It needs to be clean, it needs to look good, and for them to be more comfortable. Again, give them a working condition that's better than at home, right? So they might not even have like nice, for example, standing desk where they can actually comfortably stand up or sit down and be more healthy. Whereas you want it to be for them to actually want to come to work. You need to make it like for that, when they make the comparison between working from home or the office, they go, I'm gonna go work from the office. Okay, so look, I talked about quite a few things here, but if you need my help implementing this, feel free to reach out. My email is leop, L-E-O-P, at easycleangoldcoast.com. I'll put that here somewhere. And let's keep the conversation going. Okay, let's together shape the workplace of the future, the workplace that you need to have for you to continue growing and navigating through the tough conditions we have coming up. It is super clear for me that we need to take action right now, and you need to lead the way, okay, for people to actually come and work with you on your mission. Till next time, my name is Leo, and I hope to talk to you soon. And again, let's have fun creating a workplace that we're proud of. Until next time, I'll catch you soon.